Welcome to The Author's Journey with #1 international best-selling author and in-demand publisher, Rebecca Hall Greider. Today, we'll showcase the works of an amazing best-selling author, find out the story behind their book, and explore ways to bring your message powerfully forward. Now, here's your host, Rebecca Hall Greider.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. Honored to be connecting in with you on The Author's Journey, where we connect with amazing, dynamic, best-selling authors who have leaned in to bring their book forward, not someday, but they have brought it forward, and it has been received on such a level that it has become a bestseller or above. And our two guests today brought forward a book that actually was received at a bestseller level in multiple countries. So it became an international bestseller. And that's a really big deal, being able to cross over into different countries and have that level of impact. So I'm really excited for our conversation today, digging in, and I hope that you have a notepad nearby so you can take great notes as you have that insight that pops up or comes through in what we're sharing or as you're listening, that you are choosing to be fully present, that you are willing to take a breath, pause, connect in, and let us pour into you as we share what we've discovered along the journey of bringing a book forward and having it received on that level, what it took, what surprises we discovered along the way, and a little bit about the book and its amazing content as well, because each and every one of you are a gift. Your life and the journey is a gift. The wisdom and insight that each of you have brought into the world and have experienced is a gift. And I celebrate however you are leaning into sharing that and bringing that valuable, transformational, learned wisdom and expertise to the world. And I think you're really going to be moved by our two guests and how they have answered that call and brought this beautiful work forward to make a big difference in the world. So let's take a moment just as we connect in. Make sure we have our paper and writing utensil ready, available to take notes. We'll have pauses throughout the show where you can feel in, process, and gather those insights and tips, because this is your time. I honor it, I celebrate it, and I'm excited to introduce both of our guests. They joined together in this project that we're going to be talking about, the gift of life, that they have leaned into bringing into the world in a really, really powerful way. So let me introduce our first guest. Camilla Taft Hicks is a public health specialist with a passion for wellness. She has worked locally and internationally on innovative programs in the community health arena for over 30 years. She's an active member in her faith community and is a small business owner and yoga instructor. She treasures the Gift of Life book as a legacy from her aunt, Martha Henderson, and she is passionate and believes that the power of life's end gives meaning and perspective to the present. There is such richness and power in that. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful, dynamic, and empowering Camilla Taft Hicks to the show. Welcome.
Thank you, Rebecca. It's a pleasure to be here.
You are so welcome. Thrilled to have you here. And I'd love for you to take a moment and just share with us how this book is something you treasure and is a legacy that really led you to work together to bring this book forward. So would you share a little bit about that with us today?
Sure. Yes, as you mentioned, my Aunt Martha Henderson was dedicated to end of life, to helping people really experience a good death. And she dedicated her life to that. When she passed away in 2018, she left this manuscript that was documentation of many of the experiences that she had had as a geriatric nurse practitioner. And she had not been able to get it to publication, and her husband left the book to me. And then through a series of events, I was able to locate Meg Mendel, and she became a vital part of this book. My aunt had spoken with her early in the writing process, and so many of my aunt's truths and her lived experiences were just right along the same lines as Meg's. So I found her name in the acknowledgments in the book, and that's how I was able to reach out to her and understand the synergy of what her life mission was and how she was willing, and I'm so thankful that she stepped forward and was willing to be the co-author on this book. I had already seen the impact of the kind of mentality of being positive about life's end. It really impacted my own family and my mother's death in the year before my Aunt Martha passed away. So I was a firm believer, and having grown up hearing these ideas about having a good death and how much positivity can come in life just from being prepared for the end. So with Meg agreeing to be part of this process, they were able to, and I was able to be part of publishing to get this out to the broader world.
Beautiful. I love that. I love how this legacy was passed to you and you were able to bring it forward, kind of fulfilling that, following that wish that your aunt had as she was pulling this together, that it still can come forward and impact people so deeply. And I love how you were able to connect with Meg and bring this forward and really honor that vision and dream and bring work that's so important and transformational and supportive to people in different parts of the world and around the world. I really think that's important because I think we shy away sometimes from those final days and looking in honoring the journey and how are we ending well? How are we honoring and celebrating that? And I think her work is just so powerful, and I celebrate you leaning in and bringing it forward. And you mentioned Meg, so I'm going to transition and introduce our amazing Meg. So Meg Mendel is a licensed clinical social worker and certified social worker case manager, national grief counselor and psychotherapist, international best-selling author, founder of can you help me pronounce that?
Halcyon Elder Care.
Thank you. Halcyon Elder Care in 2003 and is a member of the Aging Life Care Association. She has served on the NJ board and has been featured in the Wall Street Journal and the Ashbury Press. She has a passion for helping people age well with dignity, power, and purpose. Please lean in and welcome the dynamic, powerful, and empowering Meg Mendel to the show. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. I'm really excited to be here, and it's an honor.
You are so welcome. We are thrilled and honored to have you joining us, and thank you for leaning in to the conversation and saying yes to this beautiful project. And I know that Camilla was sharing how that her aunt had actually talked with you in the process as she was gathering the information, had mentioned you in some of the work that she pulled together. And so Camilla was able to connect in with you and explore having you become a co-author of this book and this work and bring it forward. And you said yes. So I'd love for you to share why this book called to you, why it's important to you, and why did you say yes?
Rebecca, the entire process felt like there was a spiritual thread from the beginning. And as you stated, I spoke with Martha in the earlier years. And when Camilla recircled after Martha had passed away and reached out to me to co-author this book, it not only was a dream of my own work, but it was so fulfilling of a calling I had within myself. And Martha and I were in so alignment and synchronicity of our work, our passion with the aging population, or individuals that were dying or had a terminal diagnosis.
And I love that you were able to bring that forward and unite it. And I love, as I sit with this and I think about those things that we have a heart for, those things that we feel a calling, a drive to bring forward. And this is an area that you definitely have that, and it resonated with Martha and her original vision. And I don't think any of it's by accident that you were brought together originally and then brought together again, all of you, to bring this book forward. And I love that you said yes. And I love how part of her legacy is not just the work that was amazing that she did while she was with us in present time, but that she also is continuing to have impact and touch in her legacy of continuing this work, and that you and Camilla have come together to continue to bring that forward and make a powerful difference in the world. So I celebrate that, and just wanted to take a moment. So with that thought, Meg, and you're reflecting back on the journey, leaning in that you both had that amazing alignment in spirit. Is there a special moment you can think of on the journey that you could really feel that special connection with Martha and this legacy and bringing it forward?
I'll just speak to that.
Sure.
We really felt like it was kind of the three of us working in some ways, and we knew even from thinking about the title, we knew that Martha had a title, and we really ruminated, and we thought and researched, and we prayed about the title, and we asked for her wisdom to be with us as we made certain decisions about the book. So that was very special, and also just thinking of this whole path as a practice, just like we practice our faith and we practice our athletic skills. This was a process of just practicing and coming back again and again to try to refine the message and make sure it was up to date, and to speak the most clear ways that we could to communicate Meg and Martha's messages. And it really became a growing process, and I think that Meg and I were just able to use it as a way to learn about our strengths, our weaknesses, challenges, and how we could grow as people. So there are many moments like that I'm just very thankful for, because it was a long process, and we had to persevere. We had to have stamina. And so those are some of the moments that I just reflect on, the calls where we would really we would have moments to share our personal lives and what we were going through, and how we could to support each other and grow to be better people and better communicate what's important through this work.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I love that the experience of working together, of tapping in, of sharing your life together during the creation of this was so personally transformational and powerful, and did take stamina and perseverance. It's not just an instant kind of thing. So I love that. And then, Meg, do you have anything you'd like to add to that?
I would just add that I felt Martha was with us every step of the way, and it was arduous, and it did take stamina. And Rebecca, you were part of that. And I feel so grateful to Martha, to you, to Camilla, that I felt like we were all weaving it. And it was a beautiful process.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. I like that vision of weaving it as we're creating it together. I can just see the tapestry of it. So beautiful. Thank you. And I was honored to be part of it and to get to be in some of those calls and meetings as we leaned in together to bring this beautiful work forward. So I'm very honored to be part of it. And it makes it especially special to have both of you on the call today as we're reflecting back on that and sharing some of what we've discovered and learned on the journey. We are getting ready to go to our first commercial break. And as we do that, listeners, I want you to think about what has been shared, what is speaking to your heart. Perhaps there's a legacy that's been passed to you that you are being called to bring forward in some way. So feel into that as we take this next moment together. And the reminder, I think something that wasn't stated directly, but I'm really seeing as we're talking together, that a reminder that you don't need to do this journey on your own. You can tap into support. You can tap into a team that can come alongside you. You can tap into guidance and feel in and get direction on what to bring forward and when and which words and all of those things that you decide that need to be part of what you're called to bring forward. So I think those are just so beautiful that have been shared. We will continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Have you friended us on Facebook yet?
Why not?
Just go to facebook.com/Voice America or search for the keywords Voice America. Once you are part of our Facebook network, you'll receive daily messages about what's happening with our shows, this week's featured guests, and new happenings at the Voice America Talk Radio Network. And you can add your voice to the always active discussions on our timeline. Just go to facebook.com/Voice America or search for Voice America.
Explore the poetry of Sam Yao. His book of poems, Soul's Journey, is a #1 international bestseller. Sam is a contemporary poet with a unique and highly relatable poetic style to convey the essence of spiritual truths for our time. Readers will find beauty, inspiration, and healing in his words. Get his book, Soul's Journey, today on Amazon.com or visit samyaupoetry.com. That's Sam, Y-A-U, poetry.com. Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Get the news on our shows and other happenings by following us on Twitter. Find us at VoiceAmericaTRN or Twitter.com/VoiceAmericaTRN.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes. We had some perhaps prompting of the heart and spirit of, oh my goodness, this is a legacy that has been on my heart and it's actually been passed down to me to bring forward. Or, I really could lean in and get support. And here's someone that came to my heart or spirit. Or, I'm going to actually slow down, connect in, and ask and seek direction on some of these things that I'm looking to do and looking to bring forward. So continue to feel in and see where you're being guided, because it's not by accident that you're tuning in. It's on purpose and it's with purpose. So let's lean into what is here for you. What will serve and support you in bringing your message forward. Now, we've been talking with the beautiful, I want to say, partnership that has brought forward The Gift of Life that became an international bestseller and actually received 22 best-selling categories in the U.S. and Canada. So reaching best-selling status in more than one country is a really huge accomplishment. And this book, The Gift of Life, did that. And I wanted to touch in on a couple of things. We've shared a little bit about why this book. We've touched on the title a little bit. But I'd like to take a moment, and Camilla, if you could share the full title and describe what you're hoping this book will do for people, and some of it has been doing for people as it's been received by the world.
The title is The Gift of Life, Aging Well, Aging Smart, and Wisdom for the Journey. There are 5 chapters that each lay out what are the steps that we all go through. I should say most of us go through in terms of our aging journey and what are the decisions that we're going to face. One of the most helpful parts, we believe, is talking about how to have conversations with people you love to make sure that they understand and also that you understand what your wishes are for the future. We want to be part of creating more positive light and energy around our dying process. It might sound grim, but it's something we're all going to face. So when we have the opportunity to plan ahead and to put our best skills and our community support and our family support into the process, it can be a joyful time of reflecting on what we care about, what our values are, and how do we want our end of life to be. So that's our goal, is to share this message.
So beautiful. Thank you. And I know that part of the message in making the connection and helping people lean into aging well, leaning into these conversations and getting support around this is the cover and how it connects, how it catches people's eye, how the message it conveys being in alignment with the heartbeat of the book. So Meg, I'd love for you to take a moment and just describe the cover to us and why it looks the way it looks so people can recognize it.
Thank you, Rebecca. So the cover is a gift, a present, and there is a hand opening up the present. And inside the present, there is a beautiful picture of the sunset and a path, which resembles a journey. And I think it's metaphoric of that life is a gift every moment, and that aging is a beautiful journey and a path of discovery and rediscovery as we embrace and step into a new chapter within our lives. And I just want to say that as you look at the cover, you see the beautiful path. And once again, we're all going to be going through this stage in our lives, and we're all going to experience it. And how do we embrace it and prepare now?
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I love the feel and the look of the cover, and it pulls you in, and it really reminds us that the journey of life, it's all a gift. And one of the things that struck me when I read this book is there's a point where Martha talks about how we do all this celebrating and anticipation for when there's a birth, someone new coming into the world, and we don't even know the life they will lead and what they will bring to the world, but we celebrate, we're excited. And shouldn't we do something knowing and celebrating on our life that has been lived? Knowing what they have brought into the world, there should be a celebration and honor of that and a treasuredness of that as well. And that really struck me and created some great dialogue and conversations with my family as we reflected on that. And I really appreciate that. And I appreciate all the thought that went into not only the content that was brought forward in this really empowering, powerful book, the love, the care, the support, very kind of all mind, body, soul, spirit, the practical, the profound, all mixed together to support us. But the cover also conveys that. So start to finish, people will be supported. And that's really important for all of those listeners that are authors that are looking to bring your book forward. You want to make sure that it's cohesive, it fits together, there's an alignment in all of those pieces so that people are drawn to see that cover, feel that alignment. When they go into the content of the book, it matches and it continues to be in alignment from start to finish. Really important. Now, we've been talking about the book. We've talked about the title. We've talked a little bit about our amazing team that came to the two authors that connected in with Martha. So the three of them coming together to bring this powerful work forward, working in a way to weave all that is being called to be brought forward. I thought it'd be really nice if we got a little bit of a sample an experience of some of what's in the book. So our beautiful guests today have each selected a small section that they're going to share with us just to give you a flavor and a taste. So with that, Camilla, I'd love to start with you. Could you share your reading?
Thank you. Yes, this comes from a section entitled Trust That Comfort is Possible. A very helpful thing you can do for yourself is to trust that your dying process can be comfortable. Some people have witnessed very distressing deaths. So thinking of death as comfortable may require going beyond one's experience, but it is possible. Important things you can do to increase the likelihood that your death will be comfortable are to prepare, have competent caregivers, and expect that all will go well. And then I'm going to skip to a section. We have some vignettes on people that the authors have worked with. And this is about Wilma Watson, and her journey. I was asked to see Wilma because she had bowel cancer that had spread. But Wilma was a fighter. She had much to live for and wasn't going to give in to this illness, though she knew eventually she would lose the battle. She was preparing to take a trip to the West that she and her husband had always wanted to take, and she was very excited. She did not want to discuss her end-of-life wishes in detail, though she had a living will and her family knew that she wanted no life support. Only a week before her trip, Wilma became acutely ill with a bowel obstruction from the growing cancer. She was hospitalized and had emergency surgery. She thought she was dying the night after surgery. While I supported her in her grief and distress, I also promised I would get her home with hospice, the care she had always wanted when the time came. As she journeyed through her dying process, she saw friends, relatives, and former colleagues. She helped plan her memorial service. Wilma wanted to be as aware as possible of what was happening, and her family made sure that was so by helping hospice adjust her comfort medications. On the day of her homecoming, the family was there with her, singing, joking, and celebrating life. Later, she and her husband lay together as they listened to their favorite love song of long ago. Her bed was in the center of the living room, which had a large window overlooking their pond, a calm and peaceful scene. She died comfortably with a daughter and son by her side in the very early morning. I joined the family as they reminisced, cried, laughed, and sang her favorite song, Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Listeners, I'm just giving you a moment to take that in. See how that speaks to you. And notice how deeply that touches you. That's part of the power of leaning in and bringing your words, your message forward. And how are we planning that transition? Beautiful, Camilla. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then Meg, I know you have also prepared a reading. I'd love for you to share.
Thank you. My reading is in Chapter 4, Making the Most of Life Changes. Living and dying involve mysteries that surprise and humble us. We realize that we are a part of the universal human community, where we are more alike than different. Most of us will live or have lived long lives exhibiting our unique abilities to enjoy what life has brought us and rising to meet challenges we've encountered. At some point, it will dawn on each of us that we really are aging and we really will die. I have found that my work in aging, illness, and death makes opportunities for authentic living more real and possible every day. I begin to see what really matters. We can be honest with ourselves about what we want and speak the truth of our hearts before it is too late. When we open to the fullness of life, we develop a sense of gratitude that enhances all that is good. If we wake up to life now, we will have fewer regrets on our deathbeds.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And I love how that ties into the cover, that journey. And even you all coming together to bring this forward and have no regrets. That in this area that we're bringing it forward. And how are we doing that? How are we honoring it? How are we claiming and bringing forward those things that matter most? Thank you so much for sharing, Meg.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, I'm reflecting back on our sharing today, and I feel like there's so much richness and tips and things to reflect on, both personally and in bringing your content, your message, your work forward too, and really honoring those things that are pulled on your heart and bringing them forward. And I feel like Meg and Camila are walking that talk in the work that they do in bringing this book forward, and even in what they have chosen to share today. And I just honor and I celebrate that. And I wanted to circle back, just if we reflect on our conversations today, is there something on your hearts that as you're thinking about the authors out there that are on the journey, thinking of bringing their books forward, anything that surprised you or you might give as a piece of advice or tip? And I'm going to have both of you share on that. So Camila, I'd love for you to start.
As I mentioned, it's quite a path, and there are so many books out there and so much wisdom, and I feel that it's really an honor to be part of this movement that we in particular are sharing through our message. But it's easy to get lost in the details and the writing, the refining. I was part of the helping to publish end, and some of the steps are just very, very different from the message that we're trying to share. And we didn't want to necessarily build all of our own expertise, but we wanted to be professional in sharing and reach as many people as we could. So by working with you, Rebecca, it really just opened the doors so that we could tap in at the highest level, from the design and the artwork, having expert reviewers, the whole process of registering with Amazon, Library of Congress, promoting the book, the media work. It just was a real godsend that we were able to partner with you and tap into your expertise and your network. So that has been a real important takeaway for us that I wanted to share.
Oh, well, thank you. Very honored, and it was just a deep honor and privilege to be on the journey with you and getting to be part of something so powerful that can have such a lasting impact in so many lives. So thank you for the opportunity to be on the journey with you, and I'm so glad it was so supportive in handling those pieces and guiding through and bringing it forward. And I think that's just an important reminder. You don't have to figure it all out on your own. You can really get that support in alignment with you and bringing the messages forward. And then, Meg, did you have just a reflection or a final tip or thought?
I would just second what Camilla said, and I would say to everybody out there, continue to follow your heart. And if you're being called to publish, listen to that. And many of us are brought up to do it alone, and you can do this. And I learned a great teaching that it was so much more powerful by doing this together and having an expert like you, Rebecca, to guide us. There was so much we didn't know. And this book would not be an international bestseller without your expertise and your connections and contacts, and for doing this so long.
Well, thank you. I'm honored and I'm humbled, and I love that reminder to follow your heart and to just keep taking those steps and find that support to help bring it forward, because you don't have to do it on your own. And Meg, thank you. I'm so honored to be part of this and to know both of you, and feel like I'm getting to, I got to know Martha some as well, and to bring something forward so powerful. Thank you both for the honor and privilege of having you on the show today, as well as getting to be part of this amazing project and bringing it to the world. And I wanted to make sure we gave our listeners an opportunity to hear the title of your book one more time, know where they can get it, and if they want to go deeper, what's the best way for them to do that? So, Camilla, did you want to take some of that?
Sure. We'd like to invite your listeners to go to our website, which is the title of the book, thegiftoflifebook.com, and there you can join our email list, and you'll also see how you can contact us. The email is listed there on our homepage. There's also resources. If you want to join our email list, you can be part of a conversation that we're hosting to discuss the book. We'd love to have you join us, and that's actually going to be coming up soon.
Beautiful. Great. How soon? Is it very, very soon? I'm just curious about what soon is.
May 25th,
Okay.
7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, just around the corner. I love that. So listeners, we're just to give you perspective, we are pre-recording on the 20th. And so you're getting to kind of hear that pre-launch energy and excitement, and something you can lean into. And then you're going to be listening to this June 6th. So I encourage you to go back, check that out, really lean into the resources and information and conversations that are being provided to support. And then, Meg, did you have anything else that you wanted to add in that we didn't touch on around contact information, or reminding people where they can get the book?
Once again, they can get the book either from Amazon or go onto our website, thegiftoflifebook.com, and there is a direct link to buy the book. Our direct email is admin@thegiftoflifebook.com. Again, admin, ADMIN, @thegiftoflifebook.com.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, both of you, for sharing. I appreciate it. I'm excited about all the hearts and lives being touched, and as it continues to ripple out and impact people and families and lives, I celebrate that. And listeners, I appreciate you leaning into the conversation. I hope you got some great tips, insights. This would be an amazing book to add to your library, as well.
And we also have our journal, if I could mention that, Rebecca.
Yeah, we're just in the final couple seconds, so super fast.
The journal will be coming out on Amazon as well, and it's a great way to share reflections on your life with loved ones. So sign up for our email list, and it's a good way to find out about the journal's release soon.
Perfect. So make sure to check in and get on that list and be able to access all of the resources, including the beautiful journal, that can support you on your walk and your journey as you are navigating through life. And listeners, take a couple moments at the end of the show to feel in and see what will serve you. What are some steps that you can take? I want to give you a resource that can also support you. It's called emergingauthorseries.com, emergingauthorseries, all squished together.com. And there are a bunch of ebooks and resources that are our gift to you to help you navigate your journey in bringing your book, your content forward. You'll find frequently asked questions, myths and truths, how to bring your books written, now what. You're going to find all those tools to support you. So I encourage you to check that out. And I want you to remember that if you feel that calling, that pull, there's a reason. that you are being called to bring your message, your information forward. Find the team, find those next steps to help you do that, because your message matters and it is needed in the world. Have an amazing week, everyone, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to The Author's Journey. Please join Rebecca Hall-Gruyter for another edition of the Author's Journey podcast every Monday on the Voice America Variety Channel. And until we talk again, use some of the tips and inspiration from today's show to guide you as you lean in to bringing your message forward.